your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, skrilling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sick and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Come on, huh? 17 years? Eazy was gonna get hyped with me, but he broke his headphones right before we started.
And then we have somebody come up. We have a New York
guy coming. Dude, fucking let's go, Pistons. I was so hyped last night. Like, Neil came in and he said it perfectly. He's like, last night I felt like a little kid again. Eazy, I was a fucking boy the last time the Pistons won a playoff game. 17 years.
You were a virgin.
Since the Detroit. I was a virgin. I was not yet a man. And I just, that shit, I impulse bought a ticket for Sunday.
That's no problem with that.
I was laying in bed. I couldn't go to sleep. I was like, dude, I got to get down to LCA for one of these fucking games, man. I'm just so happy. Great win. We're obviously going to talk about it for a while. We got Alex Day, formerly of the overtime with the Knicks. He's gonna come in. We're gonna talk to him.
Worked with the Yankees too.
But dude, just a great gritty performance by the Stones. And what is the one thing that I said over and over and over about Game 1? What did I say? It is Cade Cunningham's fault they lost Game 1.
Yeah.
He needs to step up. And what did he go? He went out there, he put up 30, he was making it look easy, he was getting to the line. Every time the Knicks would get on a run and try to come back, he'd go out there, get a bucket, or he'd get to the line. Cade Cunningham stepped up. The superstar shit. That is what you do. And he went out there and he took care of business, man. I love it. He said, I don't care, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, whoever the fuck you put on me, I am either too big for them or I am too fast and too crafty for them. He was getting to a spot, he was making shots, and he just looked like the best player on the court, the best player in the series. We're going to get into Jalen Brunson later, but on a game in this series where Isaiah Stewart is out and Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. combined for one made shot, that's just fucking awesome stuff by Cade Cunningham. And obviously the supporting cast as well. Paul Reed, some big-time minutes. Dennis Schroeder down the clutch, some big-time. Jalen Duren, a great game on the boards and defending the rim. You love to see it.
I think it's the perfect mixture of everything because everyone bought into the role, including Cade Cunningham. Cade, your role's a star. Put the fucking ball in the basket.
Yes.
Be absolute menace. Grab everyone's attention. Tobias Harris stepping up to defend Cat. We're going to talk about that later on the show, too. But, like, just everyone bought into what the role. Duren grabbing the boards. Paul coming off the bench, just being a little bit of an energy guy. Playing defense, grabbing board. All the above. Everyone bought into what they're doing. Asar locked up on Brunson last night.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't really say locked up. He does what Asar did. You're not really going to hold Brunson to too many points because he's going to get the free throws regardless. But and then we got this clip, actually, too. You got the Tibbs clip?
Yes, I do.
Run it.
Obviously, huge discrepancy in free throws. Huge. So I got to take a look at that, right? So, I don't understand, how on one side, that you talk about direct line drives, the guy's getting fouled and it's not being called, right? So, and look, I really don't give a crap how they call the game as long as it's consistent on both sides. So if Cunningham's driving and there's marginal contact and he's getting to the line, then Jalen deserves to be getting to the line. It's really that simple.
Hey, Tommy.
There's no fucking way Jalen Brunson is your guy, your go-to player on your fucking team, and you're the one complaining about fouls. That's insane. The guy doesn't even look to shoot the ball.
No.
He looks for contact. It's bad for the sport. NBA ratings are down because of Jalen fucking Brunson.
Yeah.
That was disgusting last night. And then you had the balls to come out and bitch about the calls?
Yeah.
What the fuck was – that's insane.
Bafangu, Tommy, stop it. Stop it with that bullshit, bro. What are we talking about? Your whole game plan is to coax fouls and flop and play like bitches. So when Cade's running to the lane, getting past your guys, getting to the rim because they can't stay in front of him, and he's getting slapped on the arm and they're calling that a foul, you don't get the right to bitch. Because you're a little guy, you're a little Chode SGA is running out there throwing his head back every time. Fuck that, man. You don't have the right to say shit about refs or calls or anything like that. Fuck off.
I will say though, K was getting some of the bitches. But I prayed for times like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has the worst whistle in the league. There was at one point, the one call that was a little bit like, okay, what was that? I think it was on Josh Hart, where K looked back to bitch at the ref because he thought it was called on. That's how much he doesn't get that kind of whistle. That K looked at the ref like, what did I do? Mm-hmm. I'll take it all fucking day, by the way. And by the way, Brunson 11 free throws, K Cunningham 12.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. You can't complain about it not being called both ways when they shot damn near the same amount of free throws. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You're just complaining. Yeah. He's throwing his body on the ground, and it's
embarrassing to watch.
Embarrassing to basketball.
It is.
Why are you?
I lost all respect for him.
It's almost worse than Shea. Like, it's
worse than Shea.
Yeah,
for sure, worse than Shea.
The way he's acting is way worse than Shea, and it's terrible. You can't come out in a post-interview conference and talk about the foul calls. Yeah. You look, they shot the same amount of free throws. You can't complain about anything.
How about the turnovers and rebounds?
Yeah.
How about you look at that stat? How about you bitch about that one? That could have nothing to do with it. I mean, what the fuck? I have respect for Tibbs, too. I think Tibbs is a good coach. That was crazy. Look, but maybe there's a little bit of mental games to the refs. I know Phil used to do it.
It's what you have to do. You have to go to bat for your guy, especially when, guess what? That guy determines whether you have a job or not next year.
That's true.
Because Jalen Brunson is definitely, if he wants a new coach, he is getting a new coach. That's just what it is. We are in the players league. So this is just what he has to do. That's why I'm not bothered by it. Is it laughable? Absolutely. It's absolutely laughable, and the camera angles never do any favors by getting the top of his head. So like, it always just makes everything he says look even more goofy. But yeah, this is a game where the Knicks got a whole ton of calls. How about that call on Cade on OG Anunoby in the backcourt?
Yeah.
Just running down the sideline.
Getting tangled up.
Yeah, like,
Brunson
what the
got
fuck are we talking about?
Too.
Yeah.
There was 5 in a row. It's because Neil obviously does the broadcasting part of it. And it's like he's entrenched in it. He sees it as a job, basically, and like, he kept saying it all night in the chat to the point where, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He's like, they're coming. The calls are coming. Boy, did they come in that fourth quarter. I mean, it was gross. I was getting pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I watched it in privacy because I like watching games myself because I can crash out.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to do it on the camera, but I'll crash out at home or I'll scream happy at home. Like, it's just, it was gross. But we thugged it out. And shout out to Dennis Schroeder, too, with the fucking 3.
Yeah.
Just put everything away.
2
It sucked the complete pause. No Shannon Sharp. But it sucked the life out of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, too, is the only time you saw Brunson happy was when Asar got fouled out. Remember him throwing up the 6 like, hey, refs, just so you know.
Softest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's some pussy shit. And that's what I've been saying is, look, I said it last night on the postgame show. Asar has proven to be the best defender. You got these OG Anunoby all first defense team considerations, and he is a great defender. I wanted him here because I wanted him next to Asar.
Yep.
But Asar is the best perimeter defender in this series, and nothing is more indicative of that than the fact that you saw Jalen Brunson act like he won a fucking championship when Asar was finally out the game and off of him.
And
Then he took a shit ton of shots after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you look, they're complaining about calls, and all right, let's start to complain about how your second best player had 10 points. Let's talk about how we kept Cat to 10. That you're blaming it on the wrong stuff. You're focused on the wrong stuff.
That's fine.
Your main guy, your second main guy had 10 points. So now, you can't. There's nothing else you can do with that.
And who has been the second main guy for the Pistons in these first 2 games? It has been Tobias Harris. He has been absolutely lights out. He's shooting the ball extremely well.
He's got his own segment.
Finding the mismatch and taking care of business. We're going to get into that, but his defense on Cat last night it's extremely important. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't score in the second half, so take that stupid shit. I thought it was a 2 because you couldn't even hit 1 shot in the second half. Dude didn't score at all.
And Cameron
Didn't take
Payne,
a shot before.
Yeah, campaign.
Where you at on that little
that was dope.
lovey-dovey shit?
They just took him out. Sit your ass down.
See,
Yeah, Paul
Boys
Reed
playing
and Dennis
ass back
Schroeder. You
last
see
night.
Dennis Schroeder? I thought a good part of the game, I think it went under the radar a little bit, And it was kind of important is when the Knicks, they were coming back a little bit and they're getting all the foul calls and they were all bitching to the refs.
Yeah.
And you saw like Cade standing in between a couple of them and you could see him getting like a little frustrated. And Dennis Schroeder out of nowhere just pops off on Josh Hart. And he's like, oh, shut the fuck up.
That's
He
when they got
starts talking
tangled up.
shit to him,
Yeah.
And they get tangled up and it breaks up. And everybody's like,
What the fuck?
What the fuck just happened? And that kind of threw a little wrench into it. And it was like a veteran knowing he's got to do something to shake it up a little bit and how to push that line without getting a tech or anything.
100%. And I think he realized how frustrated Cade was getting. So if you step in and you cause that frustration, it backs your superstar away from causing
because
that
to be honest
tech,
with you,
or if you look into that.
when everyone's crashing it out, Cade's usually one the level-headed one coming down.
it was-
After they got tangled up and fell, Cade got up.
It was
and
right
he was
after
about to
that
get in
fight.
OG's face. Yeah. And I was like, and I've never seen Cade like that, to be honest with you. Like, all the time he's been here.
Yeah, because Cade, it was right after that play. Cade got up, pissed off, was about to start chirping the ref, was about to start chirping OG. Dennis out of nowhere pops up on Josh Hart. I was like, dude, that's a veteran move.
I know we're flashes.
Yeah, that's a veteran move.
Talk about another veteran move that was so underrated. Remember when Durant got that jump ball against, who was it, Brunson or Hart? I think it was Brunson. And Schroeder just volleyball tapped it ahead. That was so unbelievably savvy.
The vets have been
the vets have been
doing their damn thing, man.
They have been excellent.
We're talking Pistons, tons of Pistons today. We're gonna have a New York Knicks guy on. Like I said, Alex Day will be joining the show. Before we get into that though, I do want to get this out there, and I wanted to shout out yesterday, but we were too within the flow. Our guy Poole sent us the video. Shout the Cash Doll. We've been campaigning that she's been campaigning to keep Zadarius Smith here. She's actually doing the damn thing.
She is quite literally doing it.
And we got video evidence.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Zadarius, can you please come back to the Lions? Please.
Detroit loves Zadarius.
Yes, we love Zadarius. Come back. Come back. Zadarius, come back to the Lions.
You gonna help pay my salary? You gonna help pay my salary?
How much is it?
Oh man, I wish you dropped the number there.
One fine specimen of a human being.
That is one fine specimen of a human being. And Cash Doll looks pretty good too. But shout out to her for fighting the good fight, because I would really but I really wish you would have dropped a number right there, even if it was like jokingly.
Yeah.
Oh, so we could have known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just even that's you might say 100 million, something jokingly.
Yeah.
It says 10 million.
It sounds like Zadarius chasing the bag.
And Cash Doll Cash Doll was serious too. She was like, no, I got it. What is the salary? She was like, no, what is it? I'll pay it.
What's your biggest hit? That TikTok song?
What's that?
I heard you bitches were talking about me.
Yeah.
Bitch, here I go.
No, Cash.
Hey, did you see Shaq almost shit himself?
Shaq, quite
in the
literally.
middle of the set.
It was so funny because they were all talking about how he's drinking olive oil.
Yeah, why?
It clears out your gut. It helps. It's good for your gut. You take a shot of olive oil every day or something like that.
I did not know that.
And it helps keep you regular and it's good for your gut health.
That's a made up myth by the Italians.
Hey, but Shaq almost shit his pants on live TV.
I drink an olive oil.
Yeah, well, a cup of olive oil never hurt.
Shout out to Shaq pooping himself. And then we were talking about the Shannon Sharp stuff. I don't know.
I didn't even see this.
Yeah,
we
don't got to.
I didn't see the text.
When we die down, maybe we'll talk about it because we're up against break anyway.
Was it just him getting some ass?
Yeah, of course. It's like an extortion thing. I mean, obviously, I don't want to say because you don't know for sure, but the way everything looks between text messages and the fact this is like an OnlyFans lady, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know the deal.
Texts were kind of crazy though, for sure. So I want you to put a dog collar on me. And, yeah.
She was saying that to Shannon, or
yeah. And then they're talking. What Shannon's like wild for, like this is gonna come out in the public. I mean, this is gonna come out in the court case, which I guess would have been public anyway. But like, this text about her eating his ass, it's like,
I've not heard anything wrong.
I haven't heard anything wrong either. There was some guy on Twitter was like, "Whoa, some 56-year-old fucking 20-year-olds grow up." Every 56-year-old I know wants to bite them a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
How about you stop being weird? We'll leave it there. How about that?
I mean, let Unc do his thing.
Yeah. And everybody got a freaky ass uncle.
Dude, if a fucking hot emo bitch asked me to put a dog collar on her, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
You know? Everybody got a freaky ass uncle. I just happen to be Jerry's. I just realized I'm
you are
freaky
the
ass
freaky ass
uncle.
uncle.
Definitely looking at a little freaky ass.
For sure, you're the freaky ass uncle.
Hey, Chris is freaky ass uncle too now.
Bro, we're on our way back
And on the show with the dog mask on.
That is true.
Oh.
I don't say nothing wrong with that. Keep doing your thing, dude.
Yeah, you do your thing, uncle.
Don't let these hoes get in your pockets.
For sure. All right, let's go to break, come back, talk Pistons, and then we'll get into it with Alex, see what he's got to say about his New York Knicks. But Feist, tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month, or upgrade to the Black Card. Get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Thursday is shaping up to be an epic day for Detroit sports. Make sure you are tapping in with Woodward Sports. We got the Pistons versus Knicks, Game 3, first game in Detroit, and also streaming the NFL Draft. This is going to be a big, major day. We'll be live at Buddy's downtown in Detroit, so make sure you are tapping in with Woodward Sports and getting the best pizza in the game, Buddy's.
Buddies.
Submarine.
Nope.
I know, but I just is how my head goes.
You ruined it, Easy.
I'm sure they sell subs. They got to. Pizza places sell subs.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I also want you guys to know this. We will be doing the Pistons part of it. So we'll also be covering the draft too. I mean, let's be real. If you guys want to show the heavies, we'll be talking draft as well. Obviously, as it comes across the screen. And you can see me crash out if the Pistons do well or bad. But the Pistons are doing phenomenal. To the point where, like, my initial prediction, I don't know. I heard you switch up last night.
Come on, brother. Switch up.
If it's allowed, I'll take that path. I'll be cool going out that way.
Don't got to switch up if you never left.
Man.
It's true.
Saying.
This guy's gatekeeping.
True. I'll put it like this. I do think whoever wins Game 4 wins this series. I will say that.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Not 3?
Because I don't know how often you're going to expect Cat to have just, 10 points? I think he had on that one last night.
With Stu coming back, hopefully more.
Shout out to Tobias Reeven. Like, what the fuck?
Shout out to Tobias.
Tobias rewinding the clock on that
motherfucker. Dude, just an absolute great game from him. I told people in this room that Tobias was going to be an extremely important player and very, very successful in these playoffs, and I was called a madman. But it's just been great. It's awesome to watch. And like I said, last night, you absolutely stole one. Without probably the second most important player on your team in this series in Isaiah Stewart, and with your two best shooters combining to hit one shot. You won on the road and held a Knicks team to under 100 points. Just an absolute beautiful performance. Great defense being played across the board. Cade Cunningham, has stepped up his defensive intensity so much in the playoffs.
OG low-key did nothing.
Nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Cade's been he is so good on the perimeter, getting in those switches. Obviously, Asar's a menace. Jalen Durham protected the rim very well last night, and we talked about Tobias.
Your boy Paul Reed.
Paul Reed, dude. B-ball Paul.
Shout out Paul Reed.
If
Block cat in the perimeter, too.
If the Pistons win this series, I'm buying a Paul Reed jersey.
I love that. B-ball Paul is the fucking best nickname of the team.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't got to force
those
it.
first
See,
couple
nicknames
minutes were bad.
Nicknames aren't forced.
They aren't.
B-ball Paul, natural, awesome stuff. The propaganda or whatever the fuck they were calling him.
Yeah, that wag ass.
paradox.
The paradox.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it. You said it. What'd you do?
Oh, my bad.
You're a paradox guy, aren't you?
Cade went out there
no.
and he took care of business
But you
when you
dare
needed him the
disrespect
most.
me
You
like
needed him to step up in this game because of, obviously, the shooting woes and because of not having Isaiah Stewart. And he went out there and he proved he's the best player in the series. It was awesome to watch. He was doing whatever he wanted. He was getting to any spot, and he was taking care of business.
Yeah, OG Anunoby with Cade Cunningham, your star player guarding him, by the way, was 4 for 10 last night on 40%, 0 for 4 from 3, and he made his 2 free throws, just 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's and by the way, OG Anunoby's like 6'8", long ass arms. It's not like an easy cover. That's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Cade Cunningham, and shout out to Sarr for stepping up to guard Brunson all night, so Cade could do that. So Cade could be the force he was offensively. Because I remember, as a LeBron, whatever you want to call me, LeBron sexual, LeBron stan, whatever it is. I always made an excuse. He's going hard both ends of the floor. That's why he doesn't play defense no more. Because once upon a time, LeBron wasn't that defensive player of the year conversation.
Absolutely, dude. Miami LeBron was crazy.
He was crazy. But obviously, he is the offense. He just can't do that at 30 years old for the entire 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But with Cade, luckily we have an Asar, so he doesn't have to do that. And that's what we said Asar was always going to be. And I know he's not here to defend himself, so I won't even drop his name, Microwave Nick. But, like, the people who saw no value in Asar, I hope they're seeing it now. You need a guy like that.
You need him.
And he showed you why. And by the way, too, I think he's going to grow throughout this series as well, too. Because last night, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a great game by him. Because Brunson still had 37. He fouled out. He missed a few shots himself. But it still was enough to just stall him out. And I think it's enough where you're playing a guy like Brunson, who's already going to put himself on the floor between all the flops and whatnot. Matter of fact, I sent you a picture in Slack, Chris, if you want to grab that one. But, like, when Asar's guarding him as hard as he is and forcing those flops or forcing him to fall on the floor, yeah, that's what he looked like last night. Beat up with red cheeks. No Shannon Sharp. But, it's taxing, bro.
Yeah.
To run down there, run to the paint, and just pick yourself back up after every single play. It's like a boxing match. They're like body shots almost. You know what I'm saying? Slowly point it down a little bit. I think he'll be able to grow and be better at that throughout this series.
Yeah, I think so too. And Brunson's not going to get all those flop BS calls in Game 3. I'll tell you that. Because now now it's a point. Now it's been everybody's dragging everybody for it.
National accounts are calling, not Detroit accounts, national accounts.
Yeah, like House of Highlights. Is
yeah,
like, dude,
it's fucking gross, bro. It's not basketball.
It's tough to watch, dude. It really is.
Absolutely. And that's fine if they want to play that way, because that way is not going to win you basketball games. That's not going to win you playoff basketball games. Just like the one thing I hear out of New York Knicks media coming out of this game is we got to find that guy off the bench. If they're looking for that guy off the bench, they lost this fucking series. Because they don't got
know who
shit.
that is already.
Yeah.
They don't
and
got
you shouldn't
shit.
need a guy off the bench.
Yeah,
You're fucking Jalen Brunson and Cat.
Yeah.
They should be able to hold you alone.
Followed by two great wings in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Like, you know, like you have a lot of talent there. You have the top end talent to get this done. And I think that's what they're relying on. And they're just not cohesive. They're not consistently executing. And look, I saw people, I popped in a New York Knicks stream, and people were saying, you know, people were giving shit to Jalen Brunson, and they're like, yeah, bud, he still dropped 40 or whatever. I'm like, yeah, on fucking 30 shots. If he does that every game, I'm cool with him getting 40 points on 30 shots.
Absolutely.
We win that game every fucking time. You saw game 1. What happened? Cade was inefficient. The Pistons lost. Game 2, Jalen Brunson was inefficient. He's been inefficient in both games, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Jalen Brunson, super inefficient game 2. Pistons win. That's fine if you get your 30, 40 points. It's how you get them. And if he's not getting them efficiently, the Pistons are winning that game and winning it probably comfortably.
That's a perfect point, and I wanted to point out he can have 40 all day long. Is like if we keep Cat and OG to 10 or 15, the way we did that, he can have 40 all day long.
Absolutely.
I do not care. I do not care. And Asar is a freak of nature. That's a talent. Athleticism wise, we don't get all the time in the NBA. I would say him and his brother. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
how
they're probably the two most athletic players in the league right
100%.
now.
Dude, they're
And
crazy to watch.
Based off that game, my take, I got us going up 3-1 after we leave home.
I do too.
100%.
Say it one more time.
I got us going 3-1.
Going back
Taking
that way.
both home. Going back to New York, I got us going 3-1.
I do too. I have us going back in New York up 3-1.
I would love that.
You're not going to get another, like, I bet Malik, I'm going to put some money on Malik Beasley 5+ made threes in game 3.
Hardaway's too.
Tim Hardaway will knock down a couple, and I'm telling you, he knows I'm going to be there. He can feel me in the crowd. My guy Ron Holland's going to have game 4. He's going to have
last night.
He's going to have a 10-point, 12-point performance. Where there's a couple steals, couple big dunks, maybe a corner 3.
Dude,
I gotta say that's like been a cool part too, just because I respect both these coaches, JB and Thibodeau. Obviously, Thibodeau's been doing it a long time. I like how JB switched it up the second game. It was a different approach to everything. Like, obviously, Tobias on Cat, Duren, like a little bit of a roamer. The same thing with Sarr,
they had
too.
Duren on Josh Hart.
Yep. Yeah, crazy. And Josh Hart is a guy who can score from the perimeter and maybe even take him off dribble. I don't know why. But that's going to be Tibbs' adjustment. It's cool seeing coaching adjustments, I guess, along this series as well, too.
Which credit to JB, because every team has been doing that all year. Every team has been sticking their center on Josh Hart and letting them roam, but the Pistons were the ones that were able to actually execute it and muddy up the offense, and it's because they're so physical at the point of attack on the perimeter. It's because of all the other layers of their defense that really allowed them to benefit off of that, because it's not just simply Duren roaming, because what happens is Josh Hart is a great offensive rebounder, a great cutter. So if you're not alert, active, and have the other components of your defense working, that roaming shit does not work. So credit to Jalen Duren. Absolutely. 3 blocks. He did exactly what I called for. I said, can the real JD please stand up?
Yeah.
And he absolutely did in game 3.
And
he absolutely did.
You look at allowing him to be roaming. It's also what plays – that was perfect what Chris said, but you look at how we can rotate on the perimeter defense as well. We're really quick. So that allows him to roam around. And say he does have to go help side in the interior, we have the perimeter defense in the Sarr and Ron, or just as a collective, to be able to rotate and pick up Josh Hart, and we can rotate quick enough to the point where no one's caught lacking.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay for him to roam, because that's what he needs to do ultimately. That's why we can put him on there.
It's awesome, man. That was just a gritty performance by the Pistons last night.
Yeah.
We're going to keep talking about it.
Gritty Stones.
Yeah, we're going to keep talking about it for sure. We're going to have Alex Day joining us shortly, but we're going to go to break right now. We'll come back. We'll keep talking Pistons, but first tell us about Feldman, Eazy.
Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. Get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. You can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Halls and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Buddies.
I thought we just did Buddies.
Buddies Pizza created the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946 with 22 locations in Michigan. There's always a Buddies Pizza near you. You can come join us for the draft party and the live watch party this Thursday at the Buddies downtown. Come down there, have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you're just looking for buddies, you can find one everywhere. You use promo code 10MEAL to get 10% off your next order. BuddiesPizza.com.
Buddies Pizzeria. Smash the like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. I'm Eazy, Joe by Small Rex. Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff is not here, so we got young Jerry, a.k.a. Seinfeld, in the building. We'll be joined by Alex Day shortly, talking Detroit Pistons versus New York Knicks. And, at first, I took the Knicks. I even texted Alex before I asked him to come to the show. I was like, I think we're still out, you guys. We might be cooked. And then K did what he did, and I had to come and talk my shit. I also invited him on the show, talking shit, because I know how New Yorkers get too. I actually got to find the video he did. He does these videos, the post-game videos.
Walk in here.
Which all the fans are going crazy and downtown. I don't even know where the hell they're at.
Probably at MSU.
Cade's post-game interview got me hyped too, because he talked about
come back to the city.
Game 1 and Game 2, and how Game 1, obviously, he was kind of nervous. He admitted to it. But he said, now that it's over, I'm here. That's basically what he said. I'm here now.
Yeah, you got the yips out. Now he's ready to go. We saw that in Game 2. He took over. He proved that he was the star that everybody's saying he was. He went out there and he was really doing whatever he wanted. He was getting to his spot effortlessly, and he was making some tough contested buckets.
Yes, sir. And I expect him to continue to do so throughout the series.
Me too.
I think he's proven they don't really have anyone who could guard him one-on-one. But I want to ask that of a New York Knicks fan, a host, a broadcaster, just a New York sports guy. All right, my guy Alex Day. What up,
How's it going, guys?
Good. Thanks for joining us, bro.
On during these really tense, trivial times for our squads here.
How you feeling about your Knicks right now, man?
I feel good about the Knicks. I think in many ways, I've watched a lot of Knicks basketball in my life. A lot of Knicks basketball this year. I think this team has flaws that made a lot of Knicks fans feel good about this team's potential, but worried about a Pistons team. My prediction before the series was Knicks in 6, and I'm going to stick with it.
And Alex, I got to ask you, I want you to be honest with me, man.
Yeah.
Do you actually enjoy watching Jalen Brunson play basketball?
Oh, of course I enjoy watching Jalen Brunson play basketball. Here's the thing. I really don't like the foul baiting last night. No basketball fan enjoys that, and that's not typically Brunson's game. That's a huge part of his game. No one's better at getting into the paint, getting into the lane than Jalen Brunson. That's a huge part of his game. When I have no problem with the refs calling it the way that they called it. However, it can't be one team is taking 3 times more foul shots than the other team. I have no problem saying letting him play. That's Brunson's game. I don't really like that. Those are the rules. He's playing within the rules. He doesn't typically do it as much as he did last night. But at the same time, he is, he's one of the greatest contested shot makers in the lane that I've ever seen. And for a guy who's undersized, he has to play booty ball like they teach you in Villanova and control the pace. And, that's his game. And if he wasn't doing that at, what is he, like 5'11", 6 feet? Yeah. I don't know what he would be. So, I don't enjoy it when other guys do it. I don't enjoy it when Brunson does it as much as he does. But that's a huge part of his game. And, there's a reason he's going to be first-team MVP this year. First-team All-NBA this year.
What do you think went wrong last night with Cat?
I think a lot went wrong with Cat. I didn't like his attitude going in towards the game. Like, I need him being far more aggressive. I'm going to also say that I didn't love how in Game 2 they didn't have Cat and Mitch on the floor at the same time, because Cat really spaces the floor, allows him to, cook in ways that other big men can't. And when the Knicks are getting dominated on the boards like they were, when the Knicks aren't being as physical and matching the physicality of the Pistons, Mitchell Robinson's that guy. And I loved in Game 1 having the 2 7-footers on the floor at the same time. I like that a lot. I didn't like that they went away from him. And, if you're going to play, cat and bully ball, that's not a recipe for success. That's not the type of game he has. But when he had the ball in his hands, even from further away from the basket, where he dominates. You put someone his size on him outside the paint, go to work, big man, go to work. So, you put a guy smaller than Cat on him from out there, it's, wow, Cat's a lot bigger. You put someone as big as Cat on him out there, it's, okay, Cat's a lot faster. So I need a mentality change from him, because He is skilled, and I think a lot of that reputation that's followed Cat throughout his career about being soft, he has not been this year. He's been so much more aggressive as a Knick than he was as a T-Wolf. So I feel like he kind of took a step back last game with that, and I expect him to come out roaring in Game 3 because that isn't the Towns that Knicks fans have seen this year, but it was the Towns that oftentimes Minnesota fans saw in the playoffs in years past.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Carl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson playing together, because that was the one thing I heard out of a lot of New York media was wanting the bigs to play together, particularly because Mitchell Robinson was injured for most of the year and the majority of the matchups against the Pistons. So I thought his physicality that you're talking about is a good advantage to bring to the Knicks. But I wanted to get your perspective on Josh Hart, because a lot of times that means subbing out Josh Hart for Mitchell. And a lot of New York Knicks fans seem to be peeved at him and how he's playing. But I think he's absolutely necessary because, one, you don't have the depth, and two, you need that physicality. Where are you at with Josh Hart and the physicality that the Knicks need to bring in this series?
I couldn't agree more with you. Josh Hart plays winning basketball. Josh Hart is a walking triple-double. Josh Hart, in many ways, is kind of that Draymond Green role for the Knicks. Physical, he can guard big, he can guard small, he plays great defense, he plays 40 minutes a night, he gets every loose ball. I mean, a guy his size who seemingly picks up 10 to 12 boards every single night, that's what you need. That's playoff basketball, that's winning basketball. I don't think having Robinson on the floor means you can't play Hart as much. That we've seen two versions of OG Anunoby. One is OG that is, I don't want to say just a guy, but like a far less aggressive version. And then there's this OG Anunoby that's far more aggressive when he realizes I am skilled, I am big, I am fast, I am strong. And we saw that many times in the second half of the year. I need that OG Anunoby. I think the Knicks also have, and this is a much bigger thing, a Mikal Bridges problem. And I'm not just talking about the last shot of the game in Game 2. I'm talking about the fact that, they brought him in here on 5 first-round picks. He's been good. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been the lockdown defender we thought he was going to be. I would rather have 2 7-footers on the court than Mikal Bridges in the lineup. For me, a lineup of Brunson, Hart, Anunoby, Towns, and Robinson, that's a 5 I would like to see. And if we're talking about other coaching things too, I don't understand why Campaign barely played last night when he had such a spectacular Game 1. Of course, he's the lightning rod, but I don't love the idea of going away from something before it stops working.
And I think that's such always a good factor of an NBA playoff series is the random bench guy, the random dude that's going to come in here.
Totally.
And like in Game 1, it was Campaign for you guys. Was watching Paul Reed and Dennis Schroeder do what they did as annoying to you as watching Campaign was to us in Game 1?
You know what? I feel like Dennis Schroeder has been disrespected his whole career, and I feel like he almost became a meme because his agent did him dirty with that Lakers deal a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden you're talking about Schroeder's agent when you should be talking about him as a player, and he's a totally viable player. I mean, this is a guy who's not just been good at the NBA level for a long time, but he's great on the international level. He's played FIBA, Olympic. I've been a fan of his for a while. I didn't expect that from Reed, but Schroeder can ball. And to take it one step further, I was the play-by-play announcer for OTE, Overtime Elite Basketball, for 2 years. The 2 years that Asar Thompson was there, it was wild for me to watch Thompson pick up Jalen Brunson for 94 feet, lock him down. The Knicks only came back in that fourth quarter once Thompson fouled out. But by the way, some really silly fouls for a really smart player. Seeing Thompson play the way he did isn't surprising to me at all either. Like, I couldn't be prouder for that guy who I've known now for like 4 years. This Pistons team has a lot of guys who you're not going to necessarily pick first if you're playing in schoolyard, pickup game. But you piece enough of those guys together, you can play winning basketball and be scrappy and physical and hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, man, it's been dope. I met you throughout quarantine, obviously via internet, but watching you grow, man, like it's been wild. Can you tell me about that journey, pretty much, becoming a big time content creator?
I appreciate it. I know we go back way back at this point, and I think I think the first time I was on your show, you weren't in a fancy studio like you are right now either. So, congratulations to you as well. It's been a really cool couple years, going from starting content during COVID to growing a little bit of a following to working for Overtime for a couple years and really getting to do a lot of broadcasts and reporting, which is what I always wanted to do while keeping that content bag, if you will. It's been far more than I ever could have expected or dreamed, and I felt comfortable enough to leave Overtime last summer and really go on my own journey, my own path, and whether that's working with other companies like Yes Network, the Yankees TV network, or other brands and companies that are looking for someone like myself to report and do content. It's been really fun, and thankful for it all. And it's crazy. We met during COVID, and I thought, man, if I could just get this thing going, then you never know. So it's been a fun couple of years.
Any advice for guys chasing that out there?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I think one is like short-term memory. You have to be like a bullpen pitcher, like a closer. You have to be consistent. You're getting, you have to be expected. You're pitching every day, and that even if you had a bad day yesterday, the next day will be better, and you can't let your bad day deter you from your next day. I think in many ways, like there's never been an easier time to do it while not having an in. You have your phone. So, here's a story that I'll tell you for advice. I'm sure a lot of people in Detroit saw my Knicks video after Game 1 with Knicks fans losing their minds on 7th Ave. By the way, shout out the Pistons social team who just trolled the hell out of me with that and made it their video after Game 2. I got to tip my cap. There's a lot of content creators out there covering that scene out there, including Side Talk and other publications. That game ended. I filmed, and I went home Saturday night. And I started editing right then, and I got that baby out on Saturday night. And that video was good, but I was also the first, and you gotta want it more. You gotta want it more than the person next to you. And I've done some cool things in these last couple of years, but you got to keep the main thing, and want it more than the person next to you. And, I'm sure a lot of people got great stuff on Saturday night. But when people woke up Sunday morning or that night, there was one video out there and they were sharing mine, not others. So you gotta want it more.
And are you coming to any of the games here in Detroit, either Thursday or Sunday?
I'm not planning to. And you know what? You could probably fly to Detroit and go to a Pistons game for cheaper than getting into MSG. It was insane what the prices were to get into MSG for games 1 and 2. I would really like to. I've never been to a Pistons game. I think I was talking about, okay, maybe a game 6. And that could definitely be on the table. So we'll see. If the Knicks go to a game 6 up 3-2, I think I'll see you fellas in the Big D.
Hey, if you come on by, come in the studio. We'll tell you what bars to go to downtown to get the best content for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll be out there with one of my signs. Just there.
Hey, real quick, thank you so much for joining us. This has been awesome. I just want to ask a real quick, again, back to the series question before we let you get out of here. The whole cliche for a playoff series, right, is you got to win one on the road. You got to steal one on the road. And the Pistons quite literally did, not having Isaiah Stewart and with Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. combining to only hit one three-pointer in that game. Does that concern you at all, coming back to Detroit? Maybe Beef Stew plays in Game 3. I think definitely in Game 4. And I can't see Malik Beasley shooting that poorly again.
A little bit. I definitely think the adage is true. You got to, series doesn't start until one team loses at home. That's absolutely true. I think this falls more on the Knicks, to be honest with you. And here's why I'm saying that. Because Detroit is ahead of schedule. This is a Pistons team. Maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you do feel that way.
Oh, definitely.
This is a Pistons team kind of playing with house money, not much pressure. This is a Knicks team that made big moves and are expecting a lot. This Knicks team should handle this Pistons team. However, when the Knicks made the big moves that they made, they knew that they were changing their identity. And that identity, it's you're sacrificing really a Tom Thibodeau type of team with defense and toughness. You lose guys like Isaiah Hardenstein, guys like Julius Randle, who, yes, people love to poke fun at, but that's one tough dude right there.
Yeah.
And you lose guys like Dante DiVincenzo. If you replace those three guys with Towns and Bridges, yes, your offensive ceiling will improve. You're not a tougher team, and you're not better on defense. So, yes, the Knicks on paper have far more skill than the Pistons, but I think this was always a scary matchup for the Knicks because last year's Knicks team would have matched up with this year's Pistons team far better. This Knicks team, I was asking my friends before the series, I was actually asking Brandon London of the New York Post, hey, who's fighting Isaiah Stewart? Which Knick is fighting Isaiah Stewart? Tell me. Yeah. Because, I would take a bunch of those guys last year, including the three I said that aren't here anymore.
Dante DiVincenzo did fight Isaiah Stewart.
He tried.
Yeah, he fought him in Minnesota.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, the Knicks are turned into a little bit more of a finesse team, and you have to hope that finesse can be a team that is really more of, the Pistons are kind like I was thinking watching the game last night. Man, Tom Thibodeau would love to coach this Pistons team.
Yeah.
Like this is, you guys are kind of have a physical team that picks up 94 feet, and that's what Knicks fans were accustomed to with this Knicks group. But this Knicks group is not that because of some of those additions and subtractions. And the Knicks' toughest players are also some of their smallest players too. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
I got one last one I want to ask you, Alex, just because we've kind of watched Cade here grow the long way. Like, we didn't know if this version of him or this version of his team was ever going to come. Just 17 games last year. What is the outsider's perspective of Cade Cunningham? Is he the scary demon we make him out to be?
He's unique. I think in many ways, you guys have watched him so much more than I have. I've really, these are some of the first full Pistons games I've watched, other than when they play the Knicks. I don't know if this comparison has been said, so excuse me if this is cliche for your largely Detroit, Michigan audience, but he kind of has some Luka in him.
Yeah.
In that he really controls the pace, and he really plays at his pace where his stop and go is so twitchy, and there's times where it looks like he's not moving that quickly, but then he just has that guy on his hip, and they can't really get in front of him or keep up with him. So kind of like Luka in that he doesn't feel like the best athlete on the floor, but he's also doing things on the floor that a lot of other guys can't do from a physical standpoint. And then, of course, you talk about the shot making and everything else that we know he has. But to see a guy who is tremendous and the first overall pick and going to be on an all-NBA team this year, but also kind of get introduced to a national spotlight in a far more likable manner than a similar situation of Trae Young from a couple years ago, how top pick, and then they come play the Knicks and they try to be all that. And there's a reason that Knicks fans chant F Trae Young forever. I don't think Cade's that kind of guy, but however the series goes for either the Pistons or the Knicks, I'm excited for Cade that he has the spotlight on him and can really turn into more of a national household name that that's what happens with if you play for the Knicks or play against the Knicks. So it's been fun to watch, and I wish him nothing but the worst for these next 2 weeks, but I'm excited to watch him.
Alex, man, I appreciate you. Been one of your biggest fans from afar. Watching you grow has been awesome, and appreciate you taking the time. You got anything you want to promote while you're here?
No, just if you are a sports fan, and not just if you're a Detroit sports fan, I would say I cover New York sports, but then I do a lot of athlete and fan interviews. I've interviewed Amon-Ra St. Brown, for example, with the Lions, or do stuff with the Tigers. So even if you're not a New York sports fan, come check me out. My page is AlexDay7, and then on TikTok, AlexDay5. So if you're a sports nut you can swing by my way and come talk your smack to me in my DMs.
Alex, are you a Jets or a Giants guy?
Oh, he's a Giants guy.
Die-hard Giants fan.
Giants guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask you about Aaron Glenn, but what's the front? How you feeling about the front office
have
for
you
the
talked
Giants
to
right
Saquon
now?
since he became an Eagle?
I have not talked to Saquon, and I will say Saquon is like the nicest dude.
Seems
in
like
the
a
world.
great guy, yeah.
I've never like had his number or anything, or like, I wouldn't say like we're friends, but I've worked with him a bunch, and I've interviewed him a bunch, and he's a super friendly guy. And if I saw him, I'd be excited to see him. But yeah, that, the way I'd put the last year as a Giants fan, and I used this line, NBC News was very nice to do an article Super Bowl week leading up to the Super Bowl called Super Bowl's Biggest Losers. New York Giants fan. And they were nice enough to reach out to me about that as the Super Bowl's biggest loser. And I said watching Saquon every single week was like watching your ex-girlfriend kiss her boyfriend on live TV every single week, and also that her new boyfriend is better looking than you. Like, this sucks. He's doing well. You don't even hate the guy because he's nothing but class. And you know what? If he went to Detroit, I'd root for him. If he went to the Rams, I'd root for him. The Titans, the Texans, the Bengals, pretty much any other team. But if you go to the Eagles or the Cowboys,
Thank you.
Man,
Thank you. Because we lost Ben Johnson to the Bears, and Lions fans are like, you got to appreciate it. No! He plays for the rival team. I hate his guts right now.
I've loved the Giants and hated the Eagles far longer than I knew who Saquon was.
Yes.
I have nothing but love for Saquon, but like, I can't root for. I wasn't happy seeing him lift the Lombardi Trophy. I know on a personal level how much that meant to him. My dog was named Tiki after Tiki Barber. I care about Giants football that much. I couldn't be. So I hope I get to see him soon, and I'll definitely tell him congratulations. And that dude is nothing but class and a nice dude. And the fact of the matter is, the Eagles gave him the most money, but like, I can't root for someone wearing that jersey. That's just how it goes in my head.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, because we've had that argument with our chat.
So I feel like it's easy to comprehend.
Answer,
Look, part of being a sports fan is hating things.
Yes.
Like that. That's why I think one thing that the NBA and one thing that's if we're going to take a total pivot here for 1 second, the MLB plays far more interleague games than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
MLB is built on rivalries.
Yep.
Yankees should be playing the Red Sox 19 times a year like they used to.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be playing the Pirates. I don't want to be playing the Diamondbacks. I don't care. And I don't care that those fans don't get to see the Yankees, because if there's a Yankees fan in Arizona, they don't get to see the Yankees. I'm sorry. Sports are built on rivalries, and rivalries are important to me as a sports fan. So, you can love a guy like Saquon, and he could be the face of your franchise. If he goes to Philly, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. And you know what? There's other guys like, if you're a Yankee, you go to the Sox. If you're a Ranger and you go to the Devils, like, sorry,
Yeah.
we dated, but we broke up.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best, but I'm not going to be
not gonna be standing at the wedding. Yeah.
Still hit though.
Alex, we appreciate you so much, man. And thanks again.
I got one. I got the third last thing.
The third one, yeah.
Abdul Carter, Shedeur Sanders. Who do you want number 3?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think it's really either Carter or Hunter. I think Giants fans pretty unanimously agree that if the Giants take a quarterback at 3, that is really a reach. It's not even about Sanders as much as it is, like, that's just not looking at the board. It's just not. And especially since you signed 2 quarterbacks. So, if Sanders slips and all of a sudden he falls outside the top 10 and they have conviction that he's that guy and they want to trade up, all right, I guess we're doing that. But definitely not at 3. So if they want to, if they want to go Sanders at 12 to 15, fine. And if Carter's there at 3 and they take Carter, fine. If Hunter's taking, either or. But I think Carter's pretty the odds-on favorite at this point, and I would be happy with that as a franchise that's really built on the pass rush. That's been the Giants.
True. Yeah.
That's been the Giants' identity for all 4 of their Super Bowl wins. The Giants are not just a defense first team, but a pass rush first. And they really haven't had that true pass rusher since JPP. It's kind of crazy to say. So, Burns was nice. Kayvon's been good, but neither of those guys are game wreckers. So if you think you can get a game wrecker, I'm in.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I have text popping up my screen right now about how much my dad disagrees. He doesn't want Carter. Already enough of a pass rush. So I'm about to text back, well, so if Hunter's taking it 2, who are we taking?
Yeah.
That's really my answer.
Get ready for Jackson Dart. No,
Get ready for Jackson Dart, bud.
Yeah. Appreciate you so much, man. If you come down Game 6, you got to let us know. Or maybe, Yankees, Tigers, ALCS.
Yeah.
That could be pretty sweet, too.
Yeah. Hey, when the Knicks win in 6, you guys have to promise to have me back on, all right?
Oh, all right.
What happens if the Pistons win?
When the Pistons win in 5, you got to come back on.
Hey, handshake agreement. I'll come back on regardless.
There we go. Hey, appreciate you, man. That was
Alex.
awesome.
Be good.
Yeah,
Keep
thanks,
crushing
man.
it, brother.
Thank you. You as well. Take care.
That guy's like a legend.
Great stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both started quarantine, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did a little work with the Yankees beforehand, but just kept grinding, kept like giving each other tidbits back and forth.
I appreciate positive people. He seems like a very positive person.
Man.
Yeah.
His content, honestly, if you guys are a sports fan, amazing. It's hilarious.
I grabbed that video. Do you want me to play it after break?
Yeah, run it
or
real
no?
quick before we go to break.
All right, yeah, here we go.
Cade, D-Wade, or Army Brigade. Knicks in 4, baby. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. Fuck Detroit. Fuck the Pistons. They need some Don Julio. Knicks in 4. They winning this whole shit. To the top, to the moon. Playing basketball on court you never played before in the city you can't afford to live in. They never did that. They don't stand a chance.
Hey, Kate and the boys said, "Bing bong."
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing?
Fucking walking in.
Hey.
Knicks in 5. I said Josh Hart, Paul Blart, Wet Shark. Knicks in 5. I don't care.
All right, let's go to break. Tell us about Loom. Who's telling us about Loom?
Loom. Chris, tell us about Loom.
Yeah, Loom. Loom. Got to do a little bit of a freestyle here. Loom cannabis products, the best products, get 7.5 milligrams of THC, the best in the business, and all sorts of flavors, strawberry, raspberry, so many more flavors. And make sure when you are ordering, use the promo code Woodward30, WSN30 that is, and scan the QR code above my head. All 48 locations across the state of Michigan are carrying this, and online as well, so you can get this promo code anywhere. Make sure you are tapping in using the promo code, once again, WSN30.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The bats are hot, and the weather's getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Big Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Let's
Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month, or try the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, lesstanford.com. Shout out my guy Goran. He hit me up today on the way in.
Who's that?
So he listens to the show. He's the guy who got me my car at Les Stanford. He's one of the sales managers there.
It's a gangster-ass name.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Big?
He watched the show.
Is he a big guy?
Bigger guy, yeah.
Like tall and shit?
Yeah.
If you got a name like that, you get
solid dude.
You might as well name your kid Goran. I feel like he's naturally gonna grow bigger than other kids. Yeah,
he's a cool guy. Yeah, I got to get it. I got to turn in my lease pretty soon. So.
Oh, you're not keeping it?
I think I'm just gonna lease another Blazer.
Yeah. Due over?
A little bit. It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, at least is the way to go, to be honest with you. If you could afford it.
Your lease is already up?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, it's been 2 years?
That's what I'm saying.
It'll be
that
2 years.
is wild.
2 years in June. My lease ends in June.
Wow.
Yeah, that is
That
crazy.
flew by.
That did flow by.
That did fly by.
Fly by. Flow.
Flown.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy, honestly.
We got this JMO stuff. We got more Pistons stuff. Where do you want to go with this one?
I want to keep talking Pistons. I'm feeling good.
All right.
I'm feeling good, and I think somebody that we got to talk about, somebody's performance that we got to single out.
Mm-hmm.
He has been the second best player on the court for the Pistons in the first 2 games. He was the best player on the court for the Pistons in Game 1, and that is Tobias Harris, man. He has been playing at such a high level in these playoffs. His defense was really in full effect yesterday against Karl Anthony Towns. No Isaiah Stewart. You needed somebody to step up on the perimeter to guard those bigs, and Tobias Harris was that guy. He is consistently knocking down shots. He is working the mismatch. It always seems like once they rotate the defense, somehow the mismatch ends up on Tobias Harris, and he punishes it every time he sees it. And I know, he had a great game last night. I don't care if Malik Beasley is wide open in the corner. I don't care if Jalen Duren is wide open underneath the basket. If Tobias Harris has Jalen Brunson on him, clear out. Back down. Let him go to work. Best case scenario, and Jalen Brunson gets a foul. That dude cannot guard Tobias. And every time I feel like down the stretch we saw some offensive situations breaking down for the Pistons. Either they were fronting Cade, or OG was doing a good job denying Cade the ball, so Dennis Schroeder was kind of playing a lot of hero ball. It always just beat Tobias wide open, 16-footer right on the elbow, and you knock it down. That's a shot. That's a shot I'm comfortable with him taking every single possession if it came down to it, because he knocks it down consistently. So shout out to Tobias. He's been fantastic in these first 2 games.
Some of my reservations in taking the Pistons in the series was that inexperience. So therefore, it had to be a series where your veterans had to step up in a big way. Dennis Schroeder last night, Tobias Harris consistently 2 games in a row now. They've done that. And I feel like obviously Cade took that one game to kind of grow into like what this playoff series is going to be, what the playoffs are in the NBA. He's taking that step now, and now I'm waiting for the rest of the guys to fall in line too. I think Duren's done that as well too. That alley-oop they had in that fourth,
that was sick.
Super clutch.
Yeah.
Super clutch, super light on them. Like, that's a risky It's a risky play to make.
It's a risky play.
But when you lead the league in doing so,
maybe it's not so risky.
Maybe it's not so risky. So I think as these guys grow to the occasion, like the fact that these OGs have been holding it down. And Tobias, Jerry, you and I talked about when we went to the game against the Knicks, like the end of the season. He plays unk ball. And like you said, every time he's matched up with the Mitch match, you're backing him down.
Seek it out.
Taking him to the paint. Every time Cat catches that ball, he makes sure Cat doesn't catch that ball until he's around the three-point line.
No, he's
no further in than that.
Yeah.
And I think that's just brilliant and playing defense on him too. Shout out to Unk Tobias Harris.
He's giving me a lot of Melo vibes right now. Like Knicks, Carmelo Anthony. Like that's how he's playing right now. He's He's not being cute with it. He's straight to business right now, and that's key for us. And I think going into Game 3, the Knicks might adjust to that, and because they see how he's performing and what kind of game he's playing. And I love Tobias because he's smart enough to make that post pass from the post to the perimeter. So it's going to start to open up, especially because they see that he's using that mismatch. They're going to collapse on him in that paint, and that perimeter is going to be wide open when it comes to Beasley and Hardaway.
Yeah, ball movement was phenomenal last night. I think I texted the group. I know. I think it was either Hardaway or it was Hardaway or Beasley who missed a shot after. But I was like, they're playing the ball movement was crazy.
Yeah,
everyone's buying into the role.
We can't undersell this, and I know it's only 2 games, very small sample size, but his averages right now in the playoffs are 20 and 10 on 58% from the field, 55% from 3.
That's
he
Tobias?
has been electric. Yes,
that's crazy.
That is his actual per game stats as of right now. He has been he has been spectacular in the way that he does lull you to sleep. You know, he's a guy that defenses aren't paying attention to. They're still looking at him like he's Philadelphia Tobias Harris, and you're right. I think there is going to be an adjustment in Game 3 to spotlight Tobias a little bit more, but that is a great thing because Tobias is an able and willing passer. The place, though, as much as his offense has been great, I want to continue to commend him defensively because he is playing as a plus defender in a series where he is undersized. He is undersized. He is going against a tough collection of wings and bigs. A lot of versatility there. And he is holding his own.
And rebounding extremely well.
And again, rebounding. 10 rebounds a game, 9.5. Like, he has been spectacular. He has been a true light in this series so far. And if he's even remotely keeping this up for a couple more games, this series is not going to be that long because you talk about the other players that you expect to bounce back. The players who I think haven't arrived yet in Asar, Ron Holland, those guys. Like, you talk about Stu coming back, maybe some other things happening. There's a lot to be optimistic about, but Tobias, man, this doesn't seem unobtainable what he's doing. This just seems like he's comfortable, he's in his spot, he's in his element, and he's doing his thing.
Yeah, shout out to, speaking of rebounds, shout out to him and Cade, I should say, because those rebounds easily turn to fast break points.
Absolutely.
Those transition points.
Because he comes down with it and just takes off.
Yeah. And so Cade going from, I think, the 5 or 6 he had in Game 1 to 12 last night, I think it was a big difference maker when your point guard, best passer on the floor, is grabbing that board. You're right quick and in the transition.
And if Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. weren't cold as ice, he would have had a triple-double.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
He will for sure. Yeah. Like, he was delivering it on time. They just were not.
Yeah, I think Chuck and them was like, yeah, he need to learn how to help his teammates. Bro, he's like top 5 in assists in the league.
Yeah,
I love those guys. I really do. But when they say stupid shit, it's like, okay, well, now we know you don't pay attention to shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
he's literally top 5 in the league in assists.
Kenny Smith called Jalen Duren Serge Ibaka of this generation.
I didn't like that as much.
Yeah, they're out of touch. They're out of touch, man. They're out of touch, man. It's like, it hurts me because now, for years, I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck because the Pistons were relevant. So it's just like,
you're right.
just them shitting on every other team.
Yeah, we laughed at it.
But now that it's us, it's like, oh, this kind of hurts. This kind of hurts because we love you. But yeah,
I love they own it too, though, because they made that one game with Chuck where they just show a random player. Yeah.
Quickly, just to mention, Tobias is tied with Jalen Duren for most rebounds.
Yeah.
So like he is not only just rebounding, but he is tied for league for team leader in rebounds.
Shout out to
I give him props too because
we got some bills to pay. When we do come back. Oh, my bad. I can't hear you. No. Talk up, speak up.
I give props to him too because you look at the teams he's played for. He's never been a dominant guarding a big. He's always been that forward guarding another wing. He played from Philly. They have Joel. He played in Milwaukee. They have the Lopez brother.
Yeah.
They have Brook Lopez. He played with us back when we were in the Pistons earlier, and we had Drummond still. Like he hasn't been able to guard big, so it's an adjustment for him, and he's adjusting very comfortably, and I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bias, man. When we get back, Chris is a hot take.
Yeah.
A hot take that I don't hate.
You don't? You sure
No,
about
I don't think
that?
so. I thought I said this before. Maybe on the show. I looked at my text message. It wasn't a text message. I had this thought. I think I've said it on the show somewhere. We'll get to it when we get back. But first, that's what Matt picks.
I'll tell them about Mark White. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark
Wait,
White
why
should
would
be
you
your
tell them
first
about
choice.
Mark
He can save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. $5,000. Mark White could save you. Oh, yeah, you do Mark White. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, I just changed it.
Shit.
You want to just finish it out?
Yeah, markwhitesells.com. I do it on BD. Give him a call at 248-290-8242. Mark White can put you in your dream home today.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Jars wants to welcome everyone to Deli Day, a statewide celebration on May 3rd to kick off the full deli-style experience that Jars will host Deli Day on May 3rd, offering a stacked-up lineup of in-store promotions. Customers can receive a free eighth of flour, $20 of value while supplies last. Take advantage of BOGO deals on deli-style flour up to an ounce. Damn, buy one, get 1 ounces, that's a lick. And the first 100 customers will score a free half ounce. Dang. Okay, Jars. The date marks a significant milestone for Jars as it's the anniversary of the retailer's opening day, its very first store in Detroit. A fitting tribute to its roots and continued evolution. For more information on Deli Day and participating locations, visit www.jars.com or follow @jars_life on Instagram for updates. A free half ounce is coming in the door is insane.
You know,
and then from there you double up the ounce you're already buying.
That is pretty sweet.
And by the way, you want a dispensary pro tip? Yeah. If you ever buy an ounce, which is the best way to go, by the way, you could break it up into like 4 different kinds. That way you don't get tired of the same one, especially if you're doing like a BOGO situation. That's great.
You know an ad read's good if it sells the person reading it.
Yeah.
Like you're just like offering.
Damn,
You're just like, damn, I should.
Great stuff. Speaking of great stuff, Chris, you got a hot take to sell us. I don't know if I'm buying it, but I don't hate it.
Okay, look, so there has been a lot of, speculation around a certain player, and that certain player, some people love him, some people hate him and want him out of town and think he's the worst thing to happen to the team. But Jaden Ivey, I think, is coming back Sunday, and here's why. 2 weeks ago, to this day, he was scheduled to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. We are Tuesday. It is damn near a full week between now and Game 4 because there's 3 days off, or there's 2 days off. So each game is an extra day off between Game 3 and Game 4. So these next couple games are going to go real slow. And Sunday primetime at home in front of the home crowd, I think you see Jaden Ivey return, especially because this is a series where this Piston team could use a spice. And I talked about it yesterday on the stream with Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is great facilitating, yes, and you do need that. But you know what you need? You need Dennis Schroeder to be a scorer because that scoring punch you lost in Jaden Ivey, Dennis Schroeder has not been able to consistently provide for this team.
Okay, relax.
So I'm not. No, you don't
Schroeder
bench.
was amazing last night.
Schroeder
would
great.
Die for that man.
Schroeder's great.
It's true.
I love this guy. I love this guy, but at the same time, you're not taking away much of him for Ivy. You could just, when Tim Hardaway is not having a good game, play him less. You could configure the rotation other ways. So Jaden Ivey provides you another depth piece when this New York Knicks team is looking for bench help. The Pistons are going to be gaining bench help, and I think that Jaden Ivey will be back, and he'll provide a much-needed punch.
You had me in the first half.
I would be surprised if Jaden Ivey plays in this series. Not even just Game 4, but in this series in general. I don't know if you can get back into basketball shape that fast, and I don't know if they want to rush him out
Especially
there.
an intense playoff series like this.
Yeah, against the Knicks, against big body
First time
guys.
stepping on the court.
He's
first
in the
time stepping in a
conditioning
playoff
phase.
game.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask.
Jay Crazy was shaking his head like crazy.
There's I can play basketball. There's coming off of injury conditioning.
Yeah.
I can play basketball conditioning, NBA conditioning, and then playoff NBA conditioning. So yeah, I don't know. I would.
think we got to make it to the second round to see Ivy.
I 100% disagree.
Seinfeld, you were shaking your head like crazy, like Ray Charles in there.
100% disagree. I'm sorry. You can't. And this is coming from someone who had an injury. I broke my foot pretty bad. It's so hard to. Okay, he's in conditioning. He's running. You want him offensively. He's not going to be the same person offensively he was earlier in the season coming off this injury.
For sure.
He can't jump the same. He's not going to be shooting the same. It's not going to be what we think it is.
Yeah,
he's not going to come back with the same effect. And you look at it, he's not coming back this series. He may come back second round, maybe third round. I'd say third round, just to be safe. If we make it that far, when we make it that far.
Hey.
But you want somebody that it can go 100%. He's not going to be able to go 100%. Dennis Schroeder is more offensively capable than him right now. I'm not saying he's a better offensive player than him.
Yeah.
But right now,
he's a better option.
State, he's a better option because he can go 100%. And with Tobias picking up slack, we don't really need Dennis Schroeder to score. We just need him facilitating and helping Cade out when that double comes.
Yeah.
And I love them playing next to each other, but I can't see Ivy coming back game 4.
Yeah, I think the one thing too with me in this series right now with Schroeder over Ivy too is Schroeder a lot more efficient, a lot less turnovers. Where Ivy younger obviously has the turnover issue. Same thing Cade has to this point. Like in a series like this, I don't think it's something you want to rush to have a guy that's inexperienced to jump in right away. I do think though, if it gets to that point where you're talking about round 3, or even if he was healthy, that
I can see round 2.
This would be a series where I think I would like to have him, especially if he's coming back off the bench, where it's like, yeah, you alleviate Cade. Because Cade last night had to go. He got the ball, and he was just into the paint trying to score every time. Loved
He was gassed.
Shout out to whoever. Exactly. Get Ivy back. Have him have that same exact role off the bench so Cade Cunningham take a break. And I think that works efficiently for you.
Yeah, again, I'd say all this to say that Ivy, if what I believe is happening happens, that Ivy wouldn't play a significant role, that he wouldn't play, that he wouldn't not be rusty. Like he would definitely be rusty. So you can make the argument there. You don't want to throw that into the mix with what this team has, but I think putting him on this bench and giving yourself a chance to have that scoring punch. And also, again, to get him playoff experience, you'll have to look through a certain lens, obviously, because he's coming back from a significant injury. But, you want to evaluate this guy. This guy's future with the Pistons have been the most
this series.
in question.
I'm not using Ivy's injury in this series as a place to evaluate him in the playoffs. That's the last thing on my mind. No way would I rush him back or put him in this series just so he could get playoff experience or get evaluation.
I'm not saying rush him back.
Not a chance. Would I throw a wrench into what they're doing, how they've been playing, or put Ivy on the court just to get him some experience in the playoffs? No.
I could see if we were down 0-3 or something in the second round, maybe throw him in there. But you could, like you said, bro, we're playing way too competitive, and especially when we have a very, very high shot at winning this series.
Yeah. You
don't want to get him in there for experience like that because it can become a liability.
Well, for
100%.
sure. Again, you guys are hyper focusing on the small points I'm making. Like again, I'm conceding that it might not even be the best idea. It might not even be the best idea to bring him back. I'm open to having that discussion. I'm just saying I think that he will be let me reframe it. I think he will be physically active game 4. I think he will be able to be physically active game 4 and on the roster. And then from there, it's up to the coach whether he plays him or not. And maybe I'm wrong in that. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
That's
I would
what
be
feel.
extremely surprised to see Jaden Ivey not in street clothes until at least the second round.
Okay. And like
100%.
game 3 the second round.
Even then, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said to be 100% safe round 3 if we go that far.
Yeah.
Because you can't rush a leg. You don't want him going in there not 100%.
And how he plays.
Yeah,
with how he plays.
He has a motor.
Yeah. He's so
nonstop.
explosive.
Yeah.
He's going to be jumping up and
landed on those
sprinting.
joints, the ankle. Yeah.
No. I would love it. I would love because that would be perfect to have him come off the bench and just with how tired all those guys are from guarding Cade and shit, just have him scream into the basket. But I don't think it's in the cards.
Plus, Pistons are below 500 when he's in the court with them. What? Someone say something?
Let's go to break.
Did someone just make a great point?
Someone just make a great point?
Let's go to break. We'll come back. We're going to talk about something. But first, let me tell you about Mad
J-Mo.
Packs. Spenmo Rax is here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means? I'm going to be feeling good all summer long. Mad Packs will take your game to the next level, high-low, getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCA Moon Rocks hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports for the latest updates.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk-ins always welcome. Stop in, sit down, relax, get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Like I said, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome. Detroit basketball.
I was going to say Lions talk, but I appreciate that too.
Well, that's,
one
that's
thing I love about, like, because Detroit's not a super big market, and I think we've shrunk throughout the years because of all the shit that's going on with the economy here. But that's synonymous, like with the Detroit Pistons, because we were the shit back in 2004. Like, just watching that video of Dwayne Wade, I don't know if I ever played on this show, but he was talking about, like,
they'd be at the fucking
it's
hotels.
The best announcer of the game. Yeah, fans out there screaming Detroit like at 3 in the morning, keeping them up all night. I'm sure Hanson was leading the way. But I don't know, man. It's just dope to have that type of heritage, I guess, for your team.
I hope
you know
I see that motherfucker Josh Hart walking around Birmingham on Friday.
Like, we're not the Orlando Magic.
Bite him.
I don't want to say no. Fuck all the due respect. We're not the Orlando Magic, where it's like, yeah, we almost like we got fucking history here, chips, multiple generations.
One of the historically great franchises in the NBA.
It's fucking awesome, and it's in a small market. Very proud of that. Very proud of that lineage.
Medium
just like,
market.
Very proud of Jameson Williams and who he's become as a player. But these conversations, Spinny, get realer and realer by the day, and I'm not starting to like it. Last night after the Pistons game, Jameson Williams shot out this from his Instagram, along other ones too. This is just the only one
there's a few in a row.
Did you grab all of them or just the one?
You didn't send anything.
Let me send to you now then.
Yep. We do have...
Nope, I did not send it. That's on me.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
You set me up.
Basically, he commented on his Instagram story.
It was stuff like loyalty
before
over
any
everything.
and everything.
Yeah.
Sucker free.
Yeah, stay that way.
Fuck
if you're gonna
Spencer
switch up.
Raxter. That one was really random. Don't know why he put that out there.
Crazy, yeah. Don't know what that one meant.
His beard never connected anyway.
Yeah. Don't
You
know
guys
what that
remember
one
when
meant.
Eazy partied on a torn meniscus? He said that too.
And obviously, this can mean multiple different things. What? Is this live?
Is this live right
I was
now?
wondering the same thing. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Carolina whooped that ass last time. Anyway, moving on. Jameson Williams.
Yeah, here's one. Loyalty before any and everything.
We don't have confirmation whether it's
Burning
about the
hearts
Detroit Lions or
on
not.
fire.
There's no,
But
it is
following
all speculation.
Everything else.
It happens every year with a different player. Literally every single year. It's, look what he tweeted. Look at the tweet he liked. Look at this. Look at that. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Remember when Jaden Ivey deleted all of the posts on his Instagram and unfollowed everybody? Oh, that means he's gone. Nope, he's still here. Like it.
Too soon. No.
Literally happens every year with a different player. J-Mo just liked a tweet earlier about the Lions' new locker room.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it.
He did it with Lamar.
Must be nice they can afford a new locker room. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it's
can't
just-
re-sign me though.
Just I mean, he's probably going through some shit. Maybe his girl broke up with him. Maybe something.
Definitely could be
happened.
some personal stuff.
Yeah.
And here's my one thing. People saying you unfollow the Lions. There's no confirmation you ever follow the Lions to begin with.
Everybody's saying he didn't follow him.
Yeah, that I'm not taking part in that one. What I will participate in is like, what is this about? You know, I think that's a fair conversation. We don't know what it's about.
No.
We can speculate. It is following a lot of trade rumors, but I still believe at the end of the day that Brad Holmes is not going to trade this man until the end of next year.
Yeah, it doesn't make
And
sense.
I'm not talking about like 25. I'm talking about 2026 next year.
Does not make sense to me. Like we said it how many times, you will not get enough value to make it worth trading Jameson Williams. You won't. Right now, you're not going to get enough to equate what he gives you on the field on a team that's supposed to win a Super Bowl. Kid's a stud.
Not a chance.
He's going to go out there. He's going to put up some nasty numbers this year, and he's going to do it for the Lions. So I'm not worried about it. Jameson Williams is going to play all the games for the Lions this year. He's going to be a big part of that offense. Not worried about it.
And shout out to Jay Washington, Woodward Sports Chat. As Carlton Davis nearly said the same thing. As a man who ciphered that one, I don't think it's the same at all. I think Carlton Davis pretty clear-cut was talking about the Lions contract situation. Yeah. And I was obviously up here crashing out, screaming about that one. This could be anything. I think it's a lot more open-ended than the Carlton Davis stuff.
Could be one of his boys switched up on him. Could be
he's a sucker free after that too.
Could
be
be
a free mob of dogs.
Could be a girl did some stupid shit. Could be anything. Could be about this. Yeah. Could just be him saying, "I'm loyal to Detroit."
Loyal to the soul, baby.
So
guess what? It
it's
doesn't
nothing,
matter.
It's the off season. Thank God the draft's tomorrow. Then we can forget about this for a while.
I don't
Talk
know
about
if
the
it's
Lions.
nothing burger, but
not tomorrow, but 2 days.
But it doesn't matter, guys, because he's under control for at least 2 years. So, like, this is a situation where even if he is unhappy, it's not like he has a lot of leverage in this situation to begin with. When you factor in everything, when you factor in, again, I think it's a misinformed, miseducated representation of him around the league. But you do have a reputation around the league. J-Mo does, that it seems like isn't as favorable as I think it should be. But he has that, and he's on his rookie contract. Like, I don't see him having a lot of control in this situation, even if this was directed at the Lions.
No.
So to me, it doesn't matter because he's gonna be here at least this year and probably next year, or until the Lions decide to trade him. And then at that point, it's a Lions decision. So to me, J-Mo's response in this doesn't really matter, and he's shown to be a consummate professional, and I expect even if there is turmoil, he'll go out and he'll ball and he'll do what he wants to do.
Yeah, I'm not tripping. I'm gonna let it play out. I think he's gonna remain here for at least 1 more year. I don't think anybody trying to rush this, by the way, too. Like anybody that
Stupid.
wants this to happen.
Stupid.
With all due respect, kind of stupid. Yes.
Very
Like,
stupid.
The value is that it's low
no
right
due
now.
respect.
Like the only time it was lower was the year prior to this, before he hit that 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
But it's that's absolute lowest, because if I'm a GM and I'm making the phone call to Brad Holmes, and Brad Holmes asks me for anything over a 3rd-round pick, I'm gonna tell him, well, he's only hit 1,000 yards once. He barely did it.
Can't stay on the field.
He can't stay on the field
Off
between
field
the
issues.
suspensions. He's been suspended more times as he's had 1,000-yard seasons.
Burned my
He's
crops.
been injured just as many times as he had 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah,
like you're not getting actual value of what he's worth, because he could become something that's like truly deadly. I think he is, if not right now, the best deep threat in the game. I think the only guy you can have a conversation about is maybe Brian Thomas. Tyreek Hill maybe still there, but he saw a little bit of a decline last year. Could be because Tua
Mashed potato boy.
But he's crashing out too. There was some weird shit on him about Twitter. I don't know if
Tyreek
it's real
is
or not.
crashing out.
The shit over the balcony, I'm not cool with that. You deserve a bullet in your head if that was real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, there's literally if you think it's a good idea to trade Jameson Williams right now, you're stupid. And Brad Holmes is not stupid. So he's not going to do that. The return you get for Jameson Williams right now would not be nearly worth what he is on the field. And I don't know how many times I got to say that, but I don't know. I just see, like, dude, the masses that get riled up.
If he
get him out of here. He can't fall in line. Get somebody in here who thinks they're not above the law. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Jesus Christ.
I just picture the profile picture.
You know, yeah, Oakleys are out.
Can't get right.
The Oakleys are out.
He ain't got the IQ.
Yeah.
I think the best opportunity to do this, because I do think inevitably it probably is a conversation you'll start having, is after he hits that 1,300 yards this next year.
Steve Wild
and then
says
you can start gathering a lot more assets than you're talking about right now. The conversation switches ultimately next year after he has a better season.
Steve Wild says if he trades him, let's run this back, calling him stupid. I will. If he trades Jameson Williams before this year, I'll call him stupid.
This year. The only way it happens this year is the shit going on behind the scenes that we don't even know.
Yeah, unless he's fucking killed somebody or something.
Yeah, if he's like Dash from Incredibles, he's slapping Dan Campbell. And he put a tack on my chair. Dan Campbell in Brad Holmes' office.
Yeah.
You see it?
Trading Jameson Williams this year would be very stupid.
I would, especially if you're turning right around. Because you're not going to get a first-round pick. You're absolutely not getting a first-round pick. Not a chance. But if you turn right around and burn your first-round pick on Matthew Golden, I would be pissed.
I would be pissed.
I would be pissed. It'd be very fucking stupid, in my opinion. And I would even do it for a top 10 pick. I don't think this class is of that ilk. I really don't. I don't think any of those guys that you're considering elite, surefire things, are making it to 10. They're going with the top 5, and everything else from there is a shuffle. Like,
I literally saw somebody comment on one of the pictures of J-Mo saying, he's a locker room problem. Trade him to Pittsburgh for George Pickens. He's way worse than J-Mo.
You trade a non-locker room problem for a possible locker room problem.
For a noted crash out.
For a guy who was talking shit about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I think people are just, I mean, this little... They might trade J-Mo stuff is allowing the fucking cancerous people to come back out of their shells because they had to shut the fuck up because he went out there and he had 1,000 yards receiving. He's one of the most dynamic players in football, and he once again balled in the playoffs. So they had to shut up for a while, but now they can poke their ugly little heads out and spew the shit that they want to knock the kid down for some reason. But I love J-Mo, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I think, again, this may be a conversation, but not to 2 years from now. I'm really, really not tripping about it. Danny G asked Pickens or Amon-Ra in a fight. I'm probably a little biased, but I'm taking Amon-Ra. This guy grew up with 3 other brothers with an ultra-competitive mindset, or like bodybuilding every day. His dad was a beast. You think they weren't fucking scrapping?
I've seen George Pickens throw punches. Yeah. It's very wild. No discipline in his fighting technique. He's definitely got the length and the size on Amon-Ra, but Amon-Ra's a bulldog, dude. I got Amon-Ra for sure. He can get up in him, a couple body shots.
Who is the guy he fought in the Steelers? Or was it the Browns? I'm sorry. Yeah,
he was fighting everybody. He got into like 3 fights last year.
Greg Newsome beat his ass.
Yeah.
In the snow game.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra's tossing.
He got into a fight with somebody else too. Yeah. I like it. I think it's funny. Because George Pickens, he's either making an insane one-handed touchdown catch or he's fighting the defensive back.
Yep.
That's funny to me. Not on my team. I'm good on that.
Nitty-gritty. Not only is J-Mo our best deep threat, he's also an elite blocker. He's a very good blocker.
Very good blocker.
He's, again, one of the best deep threats in the league.
And all of his teammates love him.
Tyreek, Brian Thomas, off the top of my head, the only guys I'm really thinking in that conversation.
And he loves the city.
A healthy Tank Dell.
And I know that doesn't matter to some people, but it matters to me.
I think it matters to Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. I really do.
I do too.
I think that's one of the reasons Dan Campbell's so successful here. He's lived it. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget when he first got hired. And this is during COVID, so he definitely did not have to do this. But I remember he went to like the Ford plant and the GM plants. He was like talking to those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking.
Look at J-Mo, dude. Fucking
getting back to the city.
Buying homeless people their groceries, fucking buying water off the kids, giving out
the
coats
boxing gym,
and stuff.
Forcing his teammates to go
there.
Forcing
forcing guys like Kirby Joseph and Terry Arnold to get out and get involved more in the city.
Raising Cane's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Steve Wilds, all his teammates loved Hawkinson too. I don't nearly remember Hawkinson as involved at all with the Lions players, to be honest with you.
And the Lions, when they traded Hawkinson, were in a completely different situation that they are now. He plays a completely different position, and he was on the last year of the deal. So that literally holds no weight in the conversation at all. But nice try. Just throwing a name out there.
Danny G, all I know is our head coach could beat the fuck out of everyone else's head coach.
Absolutely.
Mike Vrabel's the only one that stands a chance.
Mike Vrabel's the only one that stands. Kevin O'Connell's a big guy, too.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell actually stands a chance. I ain't gonna lie.
Kevin O'Connell's pretty big. What's his name from Tampa?
Oh, Todd Bowles. He's old.
Todd Bowles is a big guy. He is old. I mean, Dan Campbell's not a spring chicken.
Yeah, he was doing 40 fucking up-downs a year.
Hey,
Can Todd Bowles do that? I
Those
don't
were
think
kind of
so.
half up-downs.
Yeah. Well, he's doing them. That's how I do my up-downs.
That's true.
They still count. He's getting down and up. You call them down-ups or up-downs?
Down-ups.
Yeah, they're down-ups. Yeah, I mean, technically they are down-ups.
Yeah. I call them down-ups. They called them up-down. I think Campbell called them. Maybe it's a Texas thing.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone calls them different. The most annoying shit, though, you ever heard Sticks say...
Scissor, paper, rock?
Dude, what the fuck is that?
The dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That is like serial killer shit. Not even. I don't even respect you enough to call you a killer.
That's cousin shit.
Cousin shit.
Yeah. It's rock, paper, scissors.
Paper, scissors, rock, paper, yeah. What
does he say? Scissors, paper, rock.
Scissors, paper, rock.
It's fucking. It doesn't make sense. It pisses me off.
When he said that, I was like, "What do you? You know what else I hate?"
Yeah, I thought he like swore at me or something. It was like the SpongeBob. Like,
just called me a cunt.
Yeah, like didn't even register. It's like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
And I don't know if Neil does this to make fun of Stick, but Stick is definitely one that starts it. When I say like I'm talking about a single player, he says I'm talking about a player. Like what? It's a. I'm talking about a player, not a player, not a moment, a moment. A player. Stick says
yeah.
I
mean, ooples and banunus. I mean,
no. Who says that? You say
No, I say a player.
In a sentence,
I say
Yeah, in a sentence you say But if you're saying like, if you're emphasizing it,
a player that I'm looking out for, player. I mean,
but if you're emphasizing it, you say a.
I say I go both ways.
Sounds more like I.
You say
I is more like no. I just said it sounds more like I. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to go.
I
don't want to go.
I say player.
Yeah.
A player. I mean, I still love Stick, even though he didn't want to trade Kay Cunningham, and he wanted to draft Malik Willis, and he liked Deshaun Watson.
Let's go to break. Let me tell you guys about Caesar Sportsbook. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use promo code Woodward1000 to get your first bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it doesn't hit. Caesar Sportsbook. Just scan that QR code above my head and use that promo code right there. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Jumbo in the Woodward Sports chat. This is a great blocker, great receiver.
Shout out Dumbo Jumbo.
But who told Ben Johnson J-Mo can throw? Ben is an absolute beta male.
Yeah, that is literally, remember,
Amon-Ra St. Brown on his podcast
said
he's the worst.
He's the worst. He's got the worst arm.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't expect it.
Make sure you guys tap into my Twitch tonight.
By the way, I'm not one of those guys that even
It's 10
subscribe
o'clock.
to like the game was Ben Johnson's fault. Like I'm not. The
No.
game was the turnover's fault.
And that was a turnover. So,
Yep.
I mean, it was kind of far gone after that, but
Yeah.
that turnover didn't mean nearly as much as the rest of them. But
You couldn't run the ball at that point. There's not enough time for you to do that and score enough points within the time frame to win the game. Also, if you guys smash that like button, we hit 150 while we're live, I will dox Chris. So just make sure you guys smash that like button.
There you go.
Get it out there. If you guys want to know his address.
You want to know
type
what's
in all that
funny
other
is
stuff.
I take pride in this. Apple doesn't know where I live yet.
What?
Apple doesn't know where I live yet.
Apple doesn't know where you
It
live?
always picks spots around my area.
I would take
in the
pride in that
city.
too.
What's that?
I'm a big anti.
Yeah,
I'm an anti Big Brother for sure.
but yet you use AI.
yeah, okay.
What?
You're the best friends with the AI. AI's Big Brother's lapdog, dude.
No. AI don't know your location unless you give it to it. When I ask
Your
my
phone
AI
knows your
for
location
location-based
right now.
stuff, I have to let it know, hey,
Yeah, sure.
this place.
Sure does.
That's
They just
absolutely
make
true.
you do that.
And by the way,
it knows where you are.
AI is just like a souped-up Google. Like, it's really what it is.
Yeah.
Say you've been Googling, you've been AI.
Yeah. I mean,
Way
yeah.
different.
All smartphones, like,
Mm-hmm.
they know your location.
Real quick, I see a lot of comments in the Woodward Sports chat about the T.J. Hawkinson trade. I think the difference between that and the Jameson Williams one
Is the last year of his deal.
last year of his deal, right? The other part of it too is not a Brad Holmes guy, not drafted by Brad Holmes. I'm not judging Hawk's character at all, but like if he would have fit the regime, would have fit what they had going on, probably would have stayed, right? Or also didn't fit the timeline. It wasn't time for us to pay a tight end $15 million.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. Same thing with DeAndre Swift. But given both those examples, Brad Holmes won't let J-Mo walk for free.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Chris,
He
I'm
didn't-
about to send you Kirby's first pitch.
He also didn't let if he didn't let Jeff Okuda walk for free, then he damn sure isn't letting J-Mo walk for free.
That's another great example.
Or DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. How about the Tigers last night, though?
It's a good win.
Did you see that coming?
It's a good win.
I didn't see it coming.
Kyle Montero pitched well. He did what you needed him to do. He ate up a lot of innings. I think he went 7 innings there. Pitched well, 80 pitches, got the win. Shout out to Gleyber Torres. Javi looked good in center field. Yeah, it's a good win. Good win for the Tigers. Go do it again. This is going to be a crazy matchup.
Who's on today?
It's Flaherty versus fuck, I can't remember his name. But
I
it's
saw
really
Nick tweet something out about Golden Glove caliber outfielder.
Pivietta is who the Padres have going. He's really good. Gold. Oh yeah,
Our
Parker
boy
Meadows.
Parker Meadows.
Yeah, he's back to doing some team activities. He's doing some fielding stuff. Doing
Chris thinks he could be back for Game 3.
Yeah.
Chris thinks he could be back for Game 3. Yeah. No, but it's still going to take a little while. He's about halfway through his 60-day injured reserve. We had Doc on B2E today, and he said that he's on track for where he is. So just Don't expect him to be back anytime sooner than he would have been, but he's doing good for where he's at. But here's Kirby's opening pitch. I haven't seen this yet. He threw the opening pitch tonight. Not great. Not the worst one.
Oh, let me run that back.
Yeah, that wasn't 50 Cent, but
Let me run that back.
he didn't paint the black.
Whoa.
Roll it back one more again.
Yeah.
Just a little high and outside.
Oh, I can't say I wouldn't do any better.
Dude, you and Chris looked awful. I wish
Yeah.
we had that video, man.
I did have a bad shoulder that day.
Wait, what?
We'll say.
What day?
When you guys threw the opening day.
Oh yeah, no.
You guys look like you never thrown a baseball before.
Well,
I
I never have.
I haven't played baseball.
I never have.
I would throw a mean first pitch.
I played softball.
I was a pitcher. So.
Oh, I would paint one down the middle. I was throwing what I got the 62 or 63, I think. Solid.
48. Little soft 56er.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the Tigers today, though. Go out there. Flaherty with 2 Ks already, says Anakin. Good shit. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts. There's going to be a good pitching matchup. Expect a low-scoring game out of the Tigers and Padres today. Flaherty's going to be on one trying to match Pivietta, so it's going to be fun to watch.
I sent one more too, Chris. You want to grab that one? But
All right, cool.
The Rona 99 says NY media freaking out. I respect New York Times. The headline they had this morning was pissed off. It's showing Josh Hart being mad, but they didn't give any excuses to any fouls or free throws.
No.
Actually, let me read it. I want to read it verbatim because it was like they got bullied, and that's what happened. Give me a minute here. Let me find.
They
this
did
thing.
get bullied.
Yeah, they're soft. Even their own.
Knicks
even
whine
their own
about
fans.
refs after getting manhandled by Detroit to even series. That's a New York Times. Like New York Times supposed to favor New York. Usually they do. No.
That's what we talked about, dude. The New York media is cutthroat, man, and they're not wrong. They're gonna call.
That's
how
why
they
I
see
thought Cat wasn't going to work there. To be honest,
I
it's
mean,
worked better than I thought.
We'll see. We'll see what happens if he gives up another scoreless half.
That's true. It was just regular season. But here's the other video of Kirby, courtesy of Eazy, and Nick. Shout out Nick.
We got Kirby Joseph, Detroit legend. Who's winning Game 3 for the Pistons?
Pistons all the way, man. You know, Pistons all the way, man.
Awesome job.
Hell yeah.
What a great get by Nick.
Nick's killing it right now.
Fucking
dude.
phenomenal. And shout out to Seinfeld for filling in so we could even do that.
Yep, shout out. Let's go to break. We'll come back.
Mailbag.
Do some mailbag questions, but first tell us about merch.
Let me tell you about merch. If you're sick and tired of your same old Detroit sports merch, head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today and get yourself some brand new merch. Hoodies, tees, hats, all that, all teams, all seasons. Make sure you are tapping in for the best Detroit sports merch in the game right here at Woodward.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Number one Detroit sports network, the number one digital network in Detroit is Woodward Sports. Make sure you are giving us a follow at Woodward Sports on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. Everywhere you get your Detroit sports content, you are getting the best content with Woodward Sports. All the personalities you know and love. Grade A, instant breaking news, reactions, everything you need right here at Woodward Sports. Give us a follow on all social media platforms.
And Steve Wilds in the Woodward Sports are gold. I agree. That's why we should keep a 1,000-yard receiver who is still on his rookie contract.
Oh!
Wow.
They can't sign everyone, so someone has to go, and you maximize his value. Correct. And
I
that's
agree.
not this season.
And his value is not maximized
It's
right now.
next season, by far. If Brad trades J-Mo at the draft, all of y'all are going to be saying the same thing I am. The offense is great before J-Mo. Watch.
Nope. I'm going to be saying it's a stupid move, and he shouldn't have done it.
If it happens during the draft. It's a stupid move. I don't disagree the offense is great before J-Mo because that's a factual statement. They're top 3 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say that. You can't not say that.
But
what he offers you, think about it this way, right? Like, and he's done this, by the way, too. An example, but like 2 minutes left, you need a touchdown. Chicago Bears game at home 2 years ago, right? We were down. We were getting our asses kicked. You know who brought you back in that game with one play? Say you got like 5 seconds left in the game. Jamison Williams.
Yeah, and like
he offers that.
The
Any
offense
given moment he can score.
Was the offense great without Jamison Williams?
Yes,
it was. But it was also historic with Jamison Williams. So,
yeah, I think the way to think about it is like 5 seconds left in the clock. J-Mo is one of the handful of players that get you a touchdown, no matter where you are in the field in that second moment of time.
He makes opposing defensive coordinators stay up at night.
I think that's why he shines most in the playoffs.
Yeah.
A lot of moments like that. I'm just not getting rid of him this year. I'm not opposed to the idea future. Right now, no.
And where is it? Steve Wild says his 5th-year option isn't cheap. $15.5 million. He's probably worth it, but not cheap. Good thing we won't have to worry about that until 2026 because next year he's on the 4th year of his deal.
Also, for wide receiver, cheap.
That is very cheap for a,
Yeah.
for a 1,000-yard wide receiver.
$20+ million, 25,
yeah,
27. Like that's cheap, very cheap.
Like you could keep putting the stuff out there and keep putting the points out there that don't apply to where Jamison Williams is right now, because he's on his rookie deal on the 4th year of it still. His value would be low if you traded him right now, so it wouldn't be a good idea to trade an asset at its lowest value or one that you have under 2 years of team control still. I mean, if you want to just keep throwing it out there, you can, but it doesn't make it true. It's not a good idea to trade him this year at all.
It's not going to happen draft night. Like Brad said it himself. We played the clip. No one has a crystal ball of what these guys are going to be. So you're not going to trade Jamison Williams, he can help you win a Super Bowl right now, for something you have no clue about what the production will be at the NFL level.
Yeah, and $15 million a year is what Cooper Kupp is getting paid for the Seahawks. It would be more than Khalil Shakir and Gabe Davis. So I would say Jamison Williams is a lot better than both of those guys.
Steve Wilds asked, how is it low? It's low because he only has 1,000-yard season. He has more suspensions than he has 1,000-yard seasons, and just as many injuries as 1,000-yard seasons. He's yet to prove to, all due respect to him, he's yet to prove to be a consistent player. I think he takes another step even compared to last year.
Yeah.
But if you're opposing GM, you're not giving up anything higher than a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, you're not, like, if you think you're getting a 1st-round pick for Jamison Williams right now, you're
on
sorely
crack.
mistaken.
You're on crack.
It's just, I don't know. You say whatever you want to convince yourself it's a good idea, but it's not.
Mailbag, how much money would it cost for you to get punched by a 17-year-old Mike Tyson?
$1 million.
$250,000. So I can pay off my house.
I would probably do that too.
Ka-chow. Yeah, you already paid it. Yeah, $250,000.
Yeah.
Well, whatever I need to pay my house off. Steve Wilds, talking out your ass.
He's just, Steve Wilds obviously doesn't like Jamison Williams and wants him gone, so he's trying to make his points correct, but they're not. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. You'll get one soon. I believe in you. Keep trying.
Well, I love you, Steve, but there's no talking out your ass. Like, you're not getting more than a 3rd rounder.
Yeah. Would you give up, since you obviously don't want him on the Lions, Would you give up a first-round pick for Jameson Williams right now if you were an NFL GM? Steve, would you? Please let me know.
JMO's contract ability makes him extremely valuable. Spinney doesn't want to trade him for anything. That alone should tell him how valuable JMO is. No. That's why he's valuable to us.
Yeah.
Why he's not going to be traded.
I really don't think it's that hard of a concept to grasp. Like, is it? Or, I don't know.
Nitty gritty. I guess you want to be buried at your house, Eazy. I'll say this. As scary as it would be, other people survived it. A lot of people been knocked out by Mike Tyson. None of them died.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you wouldn't take a punch from Mike Tyson for $250,000, I think you're, I don't know. You must be in great financial situations.
Noah Messi, I'd give Jameson Williams up for 2 first-round picks. I would too, but
so would I. Nobody's going to offer that.
Yeah. His value is so low, you can't beat the. I don't even know what that means. Can I ask you this? Did you see this last night, Spinny? Torque got walked.
Yeah, intentionally
walked at the bottom of the 8th. What a time. That's knocking futz.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. It's
awesome.
It's awesome.
Mailbag, boys, real talk. JMO for a player of need and say a 3rd or 4th pick on draft night, would you do it?
I just don't understand why they're not acting like you wouldn't need a receiver if JMO's gone.
It's a great point, Chris.
You absolutely would.
That's a great point, Chris.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it's somebody to help me win a Super Bowl, yes.
Yeah, if you're telling me the package on the table is T.J. Watt and 3 first-round picks, like obviously, yeah. I mean, I'd like to have prime Ndamukong Suh back on this team too, but realistically, it's not going to happen.
Well, actually, Spinny, I've been working on a bit of a time machine.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you fix the flux capacitor?
Take enough
I was
acid,
giving you problems.
you end up anywhere in time.
Damian Lillard comes back tonight. Who do you got? We're playing the Pacers. Is it Bucks Pacers?
Yeah, Bucks Pacers.
Pacers.
Give me the Bucks.
Bucks.
Give me the Pacers.
Give me the Bucks.
Who won game 1?
They're on a mission.
Pacers won.
Pacers smacked them around like a stepchild.
Beat their
Okay,
ass.
and Dame is a 20 ball.
Dame is extremely important.
They have some of the best
Kyle
guard
Kuzma.
defense.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, you're betting
but
on Kyle Kuzma.
Somebody in the chat said Kyle Kuzma is going to be a problem in Milwaukee. Look out!
DNC.
This is the worst game I've ever seen anybody play ever. Literally the worst game anybody has ever played.
22 minutes in a
No,
single.
Tony Snell had one just like it. He
Keeping that Milwaukee tradition
What
alive.
was that in the playoffs though? That was regular season, I think, right?
Yeah.
It happened.
So Kuzma's is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kuzma's is even worse.
Bucks face must win. This is a must win for the Bucks for sure.
It's weird though because he was
just cardio.
He was key for LeBron on their run.
Yeah.
He was actually nice. Yeah.
He was
great for sure.
Nico Harrison would
What a
give us
fall
2
off.
first-rounders for Jameson Williams.
That's true.
That's very true. Do you see?
I'd trade
so he
Luka for
cut the
J-Mo.
press conference short.
They ask him why
Yeah.
should he still have a job?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's like, "Well, I think I've done a good job. It's not my fault. The injured players got hurt. When you trade for an injury-riddled player,
you know what you're doing.
That's
You
your
trade your
fault, Bob."
best guy.
So he cut the press conference early, tried to walk off into a locked door. Yeah, dude, it's the most embarrassing.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't think he's as big of an idiot as people are making him out to seem, because I think you don't make this trade without the owners either signing off on it or pushing for it.
There's absolutely no way
very
you
true.
trade Luka Doncic without the owner telling you to trade Luka.
Exactly. So to me, I'm like, well, he's getting the smoke and being called an idiot. I think you should be calling the owners that are an idiot. And there's a
Jalen Rose said it. If you're not going to pay Luka, who the fuck are you going to pay?
Well, that's the big conspiracy, Spencer. There's a big NBA conspiracy happening right now that Dallas tanked their stock by trading Luka so that they could be the expansion team to Seattle, and that one of the expansion teams will be Dallas. Because the guys, I guess, are from Las Vegas or Seattle or whatever.
They'll move the
that
Mavericks
owned them.
to Seattle
Yes.
and then
and
get
then
an
the
expansion team in Dallas.
will be Dallas.
That's not good.
That sounds stupid.
That sounds very stupid.
Why would they buy the fucking Mavericks? Why would they just buy the expansion team?
Well, because they didn't want to wait, I guess.
But
apparently,
very stupid.
That's very tinfoil.
I feel like You could have got the expansion team cheaper.
I'm not saying it's smart. I'm just saying that's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button. Go Tigers. Shout out to Nick. Make sure you stay tuned to Woodward Sports for all the content he's going to be posted from the game tonight. For Eazy, for Jerry, for Chris, I am Spencer. We're the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
What's that pause about?